So we're going to look out for comparisons in the answer choices because they are dangerous. Okay, scientists studying Mars long thought the history of its crust was relatively simple. One reason for this is that the geologic and climate data collected by spacecraft showed that the crust was largely composed of basalt. So one reason for this is crust was basalt, and so we thought the history was simple, right? History of crust is simple because the crust is basalt. Likely a result of intense volcanic activity that brought about a magma ocean, which cooled to form the planet's surface. So they theorized at this time it was just the magma ocean, and it was a simple explanation, and there was lots of basalt at the end. A study led by this lady focused on additional information, further analysis of data, blah, 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 on Mars' surface that revealed the presence of surprisingly high concentrations of silica. So boom, but we found some silica, some additional information in certain regions. Such a planetary surface that formed in a mostly basaltic environment would be unlikely to contain large amounts of silica. Thus, it can't have formed in all a basaltic environment. That's what she's going to conclude, right? So first of all, I'm anticipating what comes next. These logically completes the text. These are our inference questions. I'm always trying to come up with my perfect answer right here before I look down. And so that's what I'm going to do right away. So I'm going to say she concluded that if this was simple, that it's more complex. So I'm using my keyword up there, that there's a more complex explanation, and that it wasn't mostly basaltic, it was partially basaltic. Because this is saying that it was simple, this was it, but we have this additional information, so there's more going on. There's a more complex explanation than just the magma ocean. Okay, there's my perfect answer. A, the information about silica concentrations collected by the spacecraft is likely more reliable than silica information gleaned from the infrared wavelengths on Mars' surface. So this is saying that one kind of data is better than another kind of data. There is no indication that she's digging into anybody's methodology or the accuracy of data. This is totally off topic. And the other thing that I have here is a comparison. And comparisons are dodgy on the SAT. They must be explicitly stated. And if anything is not explicit and it is a comparison, you can't infer it. You cannot infer a comparison. And I can't talk about reliability. That's not even in scope. And because it's a comparison, I can confidently get rid of A. B, high silica concentrations likely formed, I like the word likely, from a different process than that which formed the crust of other planets. Where in the world did other planets come from? This is a comparison than, right? We're comparing the idea of Mars to other planets. Guess what's never mentioned? Other planets. It's out of scope. It's a comparison that's just nowhere to be found here. And it's wrong. And because I know comparisons are dodgy and they must be explicit, and because I see the thing being compared to isn't even in the passage, it never talks about other planets, I get rid of that answer choice so fast, you guys, I don't even give it a whistle. C, having a clearer understanding of the composition of Mars's crust and the processes by which it formed will provide more insight into how Earth's crust formed. Why in the world are we talking about Earth? This is out of scope. Is this a comparison? Maybe, kind of, but it's certainly an out-of-scope detail that's super random, and I don't know where it came from. Mars's crust likely formed as a result of other major geological events in addition to additional information, I like how those key together, in the cooling of the magma ocean. Yeah, it's not just a magma ocean, it's more complex than that. This is closest to perfect. Boom, I am right. I am there, and the answer choice is D. But you can see how when I know that comparisons are dodgy, it helps me eliminate other answer choices really quickly that I might have spent more time on. And as soon as I know that that comparison is not on the page, it's nowhere to be found, it's out of scope kind of details, I get to move on really quickly, okay? If you want more awesome explanations of how to approach command of evidence questions, we have a whole lesson set on command of evidence on my online course. You can find it at SupertutorTV.com. If you are a tutor and you want more practice problems and you're here because you were trying to explain this to a student and figure out another angle to do that, check out SupertutorTV.com/educators. If you contact us, we will also give you free access to our Tutor Mode Basic if you get 3 students to sign up. We can also do group discounts for you if you are a tutor or teacher or educator. You can run group classes with our platform. It's perfect for solopreneurs, for teachers at high schools that are trying to run an SAT class. We have all the tools you need. We'd love to talk to you about it. Reach out. And if you're a student looking to self-study, we've got the materials that are going to help you elevate. We've even had a student score 1,600 using our materials. You could be next. Check it out.